Hello, my name is Sophia. I am so happy you are here today. Please listen to this story till the end. I promise it will touch your heart and fill it with warmth. You will feel love, hope, and kindness. You might even see life in a new way. So, take a deep breath, relax, and let me share this special story with you. There was once a man named Liam. He lived in a small village surrounded by green hills and flowing rivers. Liam was a quiet man. He did not talk much, but he was always kind. People often did not notice him. He was the kind of person who would walk by, and no one would remember. He never tried to stand out. Liam lived in a little wooden house at the edge of the village. It had a small garden where he grew roses, daisies, and sunflowers. Every morning, he would water the plants, even when it rained a little. His hands were rough from working in the soil, but his heart was soft. The village had a large market where people came to sell fruits, vegetables, and handmade goods. There was always laughter and noise. Children ran around, playing with sticks and stones. Old women sat on wooden benches, gossiping with their friends. Young men worked at their stalls, calling out, "Fresh apples, sweet honey, best price." Liam came to the market every day, but not to sell anything. He would walk around quietly with a warm smile. He would help an old woman carry her basket of potatoes. He would pick up a child's fallen toy and hand it back. He would stop to tie a loose shoelace of a boy running by. Liam did these small things without making a sound. One cold morning, a woman named Clara sat by the market wall. She was trembling from the icy wind. Her face was pale, and her hands were thin and shaky. She held an old blanket around her shoulders. People walked past her, too busy with their own lives to stop. Liam saw her. He took off his brown woolen scarf and gently wrapped it around her neck. He did not say a word. Then he walked away. Clara held the scarf tightly. It was warm, and it smelled of roses from Liam's garden. Tears filled her eyes, but she smiled. Liam continued his quiet kindness every day. He once saw a little boy crying near the river. The boy had lost his wooden toy boat. It had floated too far away. Liam sat by the riverbank for hours, carving a new boat from a piece of wood he found nearby. When he gave it to the boy, the child's eyes sparkled with joy. The boy ran home, holding the boat close to his chest. That night, he told his mother, "A man by the river made me a new boat. He is magic." But the boy never knew Liam's name. One evening, a man named Thomas was carrying heavy sacks of flour home. His legs were weak, and his back ached. Halfway, he could not walk anymore. He sat down on the cold stone road. People passed by without stopping. Liam saw him. He walked over, lifted the sacks onto his own back, and carried them all the way to Thomas's house. Thomas, too tired to speak, only nodded in thanks. Liam simply smiled and walked away. Nobody knew Liam's name, but his kindness was known everywhere. One day, a fire broke out in the village. It started in a small bakery and spread quickly. The wooden houses burned with tall flames. Smoke filled the air. People screamed and ran. Liam did not run. He rushed into the smoke-filled homes, pulling out children and elderly people. His face was black with soot. His hands were burned, but he did not stop. He carried a woman with a baby in her arms out of a burning house. He did not know her, but he did not care. He saw a blind man crying for help. Liam held his hand and guided him through the thick smoke. The village was in chaos, but Liam moved with calmness. His heart was steady. When the fire was finally put out, the villagers gathered in the center. Some had lost their homes, some had lost their belongings, but no one had lost their life. The mayor of the village stood up and said, "We are safe because of the man with the soot-covered face." Everyone looked around. Liam was nowhere to be seen. For weeks, the villagers spoke about the man who saved them. People who had never noticed Liam before now asked, "Who was he? What is his name?" But Liam did not come to the market anymore. His little house was empty. Only the roses, daisies, and sunflowers in his garden still bloomed. One morning, a child saw a small note tied to the gate of Liam's house. The child gave it to the mayor. The note had only a few words. "Kindness is not loud. It does not seek attention. It only seeks hearts." The villagers were quiet. Some had tears in their eyes. Some smiled softly. They walked back to their homes, carrying Liam's kindness in their hearts. From that day, people in the village changed. The young men who once shouted loudly at the market began to share their bread with strangers. The women who used to gossip now helped old ladies carry their baskets. The children who once played rough games now shared their toys with the little ones. Liam was not there to see it, but he was everywhere in the small acts of kindness, in the gentle smiles, and in the warmth that filled the village. Sometimes, the quietest people leave the loudest impact. So, my dear friends, remember this. You do not need to be famous to make a difference. You do not need to be rich or powerful. You only need a kind heart. Let your kindness flow quietly. Let it touch hearts in ways words cannot. If this story touched you, please like and subscribe. Your support means so much. It helps me share more heartwarming and inspiring stories with you. Thank you for listening with your heart.